Another rough day for both the stock market and for cryptocurrencies. We're going to go ahead and give you a quick update for AMC, so don't go anywhere. I just want to start off by saying, as usual, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion, it's my own research, and I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research as well. As we can see here, we can see AMC is slightly down in the aftermarket for the course of the day. It went down 3.65%. And also you can see on the daily that we have 4 consecutive days of red. Now, if we actually go back here just a little bit, you can see we have another sequence of 4 days. There's also another 4 days right here, and then there's another 4 days right here. So as far as for how many red days in a row, this is at a pivotal point just based on a simple base trend. So what this is largely suggesting is that we have a higher probability than not to see it do a reversal and actually go into the positive on the green for tomorrow, where some sentiment might actually start to stabilize itself a little bit more. This is not a guarantee. Excuse me. This is not a guarantee with this stuff, but just keep that in mind that when we take a look at some of these key factors, this forms a trend, and that trend is your friend. It's suggesting that we are more than likely going to go up than to go down. One thing that I am a little bit concerned about is when you look at people like, for example, Trades, he says, this is not a dead cat. This is not a dead cat. And, I am firmly a believer and supporter of this movement. And on the daily, it looks like we're holding okay. All right. Now, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I just want you guys to kind of zoom out on the picture here. Concern that I have is that if we swap over to the weekly, what we can actually see here is that those 4 patterns that I was talking about, if we have 4 weeks, that means we could have potentially some recovery tomorrow, short term, but long term, if it's red, we might see it drop further. I really want to see some support being established here at $36. I'm a little bit concerned if it drops below that. If it does, then I got another key level here at $32.50. But with 2 weeks of consecutive downtrend movement, it would be pushing it back towards maybe around this $20, $21 range. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. We need to understand and realize that this kind of stuff could take place, especially with as much of the institutional investment that is also being purported by someone like Trades. So here's his recent statement, and I think this is something that's definitely good to keep in mind regardless of the situation. So he said, my theory, 20% of this stock is owned by institutions by the book. Who knows if it's actually 20% or less? With a seemingly unavoidable market correction on the horizon, lots of chips are getting dumped by suits. I think you're watching that process right now. Patience. Something else to keep in mind, too, is that with the new regulations that have come into place, margin calls are more likely to take place now than to not. You also have the opportunity where, because the price is dropping, if people are just wanting to get out of this finally, they might be hitting those levels where they're like, you know what, get me out of this. And I'm talking in regards to the short positions. So that was earlier. I was just doing some searching on that. Sorry about that. Short interest on AMC is up 1%. It's currently at 18.82%. So we're seeing it dangling right around that 20%. We have a potential here because of the large amount of shares that have been borrowed. I can actually go ahead and reference this now, I guess. This individual said they have just borrowed 3,850,000 shares. This is why I hold. As you guys can see on this image here, from when they were tracking this, it went from 4.1 million available down to all the way 250,000. If we actually go take a look over here, right now it's saying that there's 500,000 shares available to borrow, and the fee is 1%. We can also look at a couple of the other datas. We can see that there's 174,000 call options that are out of the money right now. There's barely anything that's in the money. This has been a rough week. There's no way to avoid that. And of course, guess what? All the trades in the dark pool, it's over 60% still. We can see on the dark pool, negative 70 million shares, over negative 70.5 million, actually. Position is almost $3 billion. Again, negative $3 billion. Things are absolutely crazy, so don't be surprised if the price does go further down. When I look at this on the weekly, that whole idea of a dead cat bounce, and what I was trying to talk about is you go higher, you go down low, kind of looks like it's recovering, and then it hits even harder, right? So this on a weekly perspective could play out as a dead cat. I don't want it to do that because I own AMC. I want this to go up. I'm not trying to plant any kind of seeds or anything, but this is what a dead cat bounce would look like. And on the weekly, we're not necessarily out of the water yet, but we do have some strong support, so do keep that in mind, okay? And if we look at it on the daily, we're we're still holding out pretty well. So I think we got some good opportunities here. This month in general is just kind of rough. So we'll have to see how things play out. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. So I do have referral links in the description. If you guys want to get free cryptocurrency or free stock, feel free to check those out. It's free money. And also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button. It definitely helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm. And feel free to share this video on social media. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode.